So I'm going to be doing a series of videos about tool organization, and we're going to start from the top down, and we're going to use some different products, and I'm going to show you different organizers and things from different companies and all that, so you can get an idea of what all's out there on the market. Today, I've got a set of socket organizers from a company called WESTLING, and they're a company that's made in the USA up in Blaine, Minnesota. They've been around since 2007. Come a little closer and I'll show you what all I got here. You can see that I've got all my sockets in here. These are all billet aluminum socket trays, and you can see that they're nice and thick, and these come in different colors. These are anodized red, black, there's blue over there, and then I think they make a purple and maybe some other colors. Who knows what they'll be coming out with. But then also these come engraved, or you can get them plain. So I just opted to get them engraved. You might like that, you might not. It really just depends on which look you're after, and it really just depends on which sockets you're using, because some sockets, they skip sizes, and then some of them, they have all the sizes to choose from. So it's kind of aggravating. Sometimes you might get a certain brand where they skip the let's see, the 16 right there, the 16 millimeter and the 1/2 inch drive, and these are all Craftsman sockets except these here on this end, and then on this end these are from Capri Tools, but everything else is all Craftsman. There in the middle, all the chrome sockets are. And I know I'm gonna get some hate for some of the Craftsman stuff, but it's just what I like. You can use whatever tools you prefer, but like I said, I grew up using the Craftsman. I've just always stuck with that, and plus I find them to be a lot cheaper than a lot of the tool truck sockets. And if I break one, I can run down to the flea market or a pawn shop and just run in and pick up a new socket for 50 cents or $1. As far as the organizers, I love the way that they look in here. It really does make it look premium, because you can see right there the little pegs that are sticking up. I mean, this thing is built like a tank. If you was to drop these on the ground, you might scratch them up, scratch that anodizing on there, but you're definitely not going to break them, because like I said, these things are thick. And I'll pull them out here in a minute and give you an idea of just how thick they are and measure it for you. One thing, like I mentioned, is some of them come engraved. All these are engraved. Sometimes you don't have enough sockets to fill the hole. Like right now, I'm looking for the metric 20 to 27 millimeter in the 1/2 inch drive, but 6 point. And so I've had a hard time trying to find those. I have no problems trying to find the 12 points, but the 6 points were pretty hard to find. But like I said, these look really nice in here. And I know what you're going to say, you don't have them all in order, and that's correct. What I mean by that is, normally you would have like your 1/4 inch would be right here, and your other 1/4 inch metric would be there, and then you'd have your 3/8 standard, and then your 3/8, and then your 1/2 inch, and then your 1/2 inch. Well, since I'm working out of a service box, I don't have room to turn all of these the correct way to kind of put them in order. So I just kind of put them in here, puzzle piece mixed together, and that's fine with me, because I know my own box and I know where my sockets are, and so it's easy for me. But somebody else just looking at this would say, that's not organized correctly. But I chose to work out of a service cart just simply because, I can put all my sockets in here and I can wheel it to wherever I'm working. So it makes it easier for me, so I don't have to run back and forth to the toolbox. I know a lot of you guys are going to be working out of a big toolbox and put all your sockets in that top drawer and have it all organized in one huge drawer. And that's fine. And so you could spread these out a little bit more. But, there is some drawbacks. Some of the sockets that come in these sets, some of these are bigger than what they offer. This one goes from 20 to 27 millimeter. Well, I didn't realize that Craftsman made a 1/2 inch 30 millimeter socket. I just happened to see that one the other day at a flea market and picked it up. And right over here, this is a 1.5 inch Craftsman. These are only go up to 1.25 inches on the socket organizers here. So I just stuck that on top, just so it would be up and out of the way. Like some of the smaller sizes, like on the 1/4 inch, this is a 15 millimeter right there. And Craftsman, I don't know if they ever made one. I just know I've not had any luck finding a 15 millimeter in the 1/4 inch drive. So you might have some places that are empty, and that's fine. Just expect that, because some of these sizes are very difficult. Like the 1/4 inch 4.5 millimeter in the Craftsman is a rarity. And then the other one right here, the 5.5 millimeter in the deep well, I just stuck a 5.5 shallow in its place because you'll probably never find a deep well one. I'm still adding to my collection. These socket trays really does, make it look nice. I just think they make it definitely look more premium in a tray like this than some of the others that I have seen. Let's say you didn't want to even put these in a toolbox. Let's say you've got a nice workbench. You could just proudly display these on a workbench. I think they're going to look nice and neat as well. So one thing I wanted to make mention with these socket organizers is these are a 1/4 inch thick. Like I said, they're made out of billet aluminum. Also, I'm sure you guys are wondering how I was able to get the sockets so clean. Well, I take pretty good care of my tools through the years, and so I didn't really have that much rust or anything on them. Now I did have some that had grease down in them, but I used a pick on some of them to get the grease out. But as far as like polishing the sockets, I would just take and put a driver bit on there, and I found that this Never Dull from Eagle One works really good. It's just like a wool, and it has a metal polishing cleaner on there, and I just grab like a big piece of it, hold it in my hand, and turn the drill on, and just sit there and spin it in my hand and let the drill do all the work. And then when I'm done, I've got a really slick socket that's cleaned and polished, and you can see, this thing looks brand spanking new. And these are used sockets from mostly in the 90s and 2000s. These got some use to them, and so they come out looking like a mirror. Really, you'd be surprised what just cleaning them with an impact or a drill. And then after you put this cleaner on there, then you just take a microfiber and then sit there and spin that, get all that cleaner off of there, and these things come out really clean. Now, if you got some that's really bad, that's got some rust on them, then you can always stick them in some vinegar or Vapor Rust or Metal Rescue or whatever you got, any kind of rust remover. But anyways, but this always seems to work, and I think that it made the sockets look really good. And so I hadn't cleaned them in probably 30 years, so it was time. So I spent a few hours cleaning sockets and all that, but you can see that it's paid off. It looks really good. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention, I showed that this tray here has 3 different rows on it. They also sell them. You can get them as a double row, just like this one here. And then also, if you buy some of your tools from Capri Tools, WESTLING has partnered with Capri. Whenever you buy the sockets from Capri, it comes with the organizer from WESTLING. So, if you like Capri Tools, definitely check these out, because man, these are sharp. They look like a really nice set. I haven't got to play around with them that much. So these socket trays come in your 1/4 inch, your 3/8, your 1/2 inch, and then they also have a socket tray for the 3/4 inch. But another thing too I wanted to mention is, I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, what holds these sockets in place? This peg sticks up. That's what holds that socket on there. Now, if you're wondering, what if you just tip it over just a little bit? Is it all going to fall on the floor? The answer is no. These pegs come up high enough on the bottom of the socket on the drive end to where, you can tip these things way over, and, eventually they're going to fall off, but you can see that, for the most part, they're holding on there. Now, and that's 90 degrees right there, guys. So, now, honestly, if you was to try to shake them, they're still holding on there, even with me shaking them. There's the first one, but you see, it took some doing to knock that off. So if you accidentally just turn your hand over, they're not just gonna fly off there. But we'll go ahead and do a little test on them to kind of see what's that point to where they fall off. So yeah, you get an idea. All right, so now that all the sockets are off here, I just wanted to show you what it looks like with just the plain tray. And you can see that they've got engraved the WESTLING name, and it's 1/4 inch, it's standard, and it says proudly made in the USA. You don't get to see that very often. Here on the bottom, you can see that it is anodized on the bottom as well, and the fit and finish looks really good on these. This is the nicest organizers I think you'll find. I've never seen any organizers that was built as good and looked as good as these. So not only do these socket organizers look good, but I'm sure they'll save you some time. Some of the socket organizers I've used through the years, you know, I started out with the little metal clip ones that you push on there, and you know, while they're good for bunching a bunch of sockets in a box, you know, you can get so many sockets on one of those trays where they have to push in metal clips. You know, they're kind of hard to get on and off. You know, sometimes I've had to take a pair of pliers and yank to try to get them off those metal clips. I know if you guys have tools, you know what I'm talking about. They're a pain in the butt. But like I said, you're able to, you know, get a bunch of sockets in a smaller space. So they do have their place. And yes, you can hold them vertical, and you could grab the whole tray and take off walking through the yard, and they're not going to fall off. So they do have their pluses and minuses. But you know, I think with these, you know, if you plan on keeping these in your toolbox or your service car, you know, I think that's going to save you some time, because you just reach up and grab what you want. And they're clearly labeled, so you ain't got to hunt for it. Let's just say if you run your own mechanic shop, you know, and you got customers coming in the shop looking at their vehicle or something, the first thing I'm going to look at is this guy organized? If his shop's all messy and, you know, got junk everywhere and it looks like he's running a junkyard, then, you know, I probably wouldn't want to take my car to him. You know, even though I'm not saying, you know, he's probably not a good mechanic. I'm just saying, you know, I want somebody that's going to get in my car that's going to be nice and clean and take pride and not get grease on my seats. And, you know, I want somebody that's going to, you know, look like they take pride in what they're doing. And so when you got your tools all organized, and, you know, it's gonna look more professional for you. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Do they have stuff to organize my other tools? And they have a few things right now. I'm sure they'll probably expand. This here is called your driver deck. What this is, it's just a place to store like your drill bits and your Torx and, you know, your bits for your impact and all that. And so I've got like a little right angle DeWalt screwdriver, and it holds a bunch of little bits here. And so this does come in handy to try to consolidate, because I've got a bunch of bits from, you know, like these are Huskies here, and some of these are DeWalt and Craftsman, and this is DeWalt, Milwaukee stuff, and I think that's Makita there. And so you get a bunch of different brands, and for me, I don't like having a bunch of different boxes. Like for my power tools, I'm a rigid guy. You know, I like rigid stuff. Is it the best out there? Probably not. But to me, it is the best because it has a lifetime warranty on the tool and a lifetime warranty on the battery. As long as you register the tools. I don't like buying stuff over and over, and these batteries aren't cheap. And so that's why I stick with rigid. And so a lot of times when I buy some bits and stuff around Christmas time, because everybody knows all your little bits and stuff goes on sale for Black Friday, and it gets real cheap, and you can go in and, you know, buy some of these bits. I don't want to have a bit organizer that's yellow for DeWalt, and one that's red for Milwaukee, and one that's kind of bluish green for Makita, and then an orange one for rigid. You know, I want to keep all my stuff kind of nice and neat, and this just allows you to put everything on there without having a bunch of different colors. And I know it doesn't matter to some of you, but I'm OCD. You know, I like having them organized. Anyways, that's just me and my personal preference. And I just think it looks nice and neat. Now, obviously, I don't have a real good place to put it in this service cart. Like I said, most of you guys are going to be working out of a top drawer in a box, and you're going to have all your sockets in there. And if that's the case, then you're going to have plenty enough room to put several of these deck drivers in there and keep all your drill bits, you know, in one place. So I showed you that I've got this driver deck filled up over here with the different bits and stuff. I've got one here that's empty. I just wanted to show you I've got just a few little drill bits here on the back. But you know, this is neat for storing, you know, drill bits. You know, just in a pinch, you can just grab these on the go. You know, rather than opening up a little case and fumbling around for the right size drill bit. I mean, these are solid. I'll just go ahead and show you. Whenever you pick these things up, I mean, they got some weight to them. I mean, literally, you can tell that's a solid chunk of aluminum. And again, these are built really nice. They look really good. Now, these will hold up to 60 whatever bits you choose to put in here. And so, you know, you get a couple of these, and gosh, that'd be plenty enough room. 120 bits for between the two. I mean, that's a lot of bits, guys. And so you can display them instead of leaving them in the little boxes that they come in. I just think it looks nicer this way, and you can just grab them and go. Now, again, these are the same as the tool organizers here. These come in different colors, the black and the red and blue and purple. And so those are the ones that they have on their website right now. And the same with these as with the trays. You can buy them as a single. You don't have to buy, you know, the trays as a set. You can buy those as a single tray. The same as with these. You don't have to buy them in a pair or anything. They come as just as one. And so just to throw some pricing out there for you so you'll know what these run. These are like $28. Yeah, $28.99 on their website, and I'm sure prices will change, you know, over the years, but those are $28.99. And then the socket trays, depending on which ones you get, cost different amounts. Like the set that I have in the box here, with the exception of the two trays on each side with the Capri impacts on there, I got an 8-piece kit with the 3-tiered tray for, I think it's $285, I believe. If you get the one that like I have that has the engraving on there of the different sizes in the 8-piece tray with the 3-row, it's $285.99. But that's the most expensive that you can get. Now, some of the 2-row trays with the non-engraving are going to cost you less money. And then, like I said, you can buy, you know, the trays as singles. And so, just for instance, you can buy a 3/8 2-row tray for $28.99, a 1/4-inch standard 2-holder tray, a 2-row tray for $22.99. So, you know, these ain't too expensive. I mean, $20, $30, $40 for a tray. And depends on which size you get and all that. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I hope this video was informative to you. And I gotta say, I've been very pleased with these, and I can't wait to get them all filled up. So I'm sure I'll be going back to the flea market every weekend looking for, you know, different Craftsman tools. And don't get me wrong, guys, I like other tools as well. I collect some Snap-on and Cornwell and Matco stuff, the same as you guys. If I run into it really cheap, then I'll buy it. This is a find that I found a few weeks ago on Marketplace. I bought a lot of tools and just like a little toolbox, and the guy had a bunch of wrenches, and everything in there was old and rusty. And I seen a Williams wrench in the Facebook listing, and I thought, you know, he only wanted $15 for it, the whole toolbox with the tools. And I just said, hey, would you take 10? And he said, sure. So I went and picked the box of tools up and got them home, and this was the first thing that I pulled out of there. And this is a Snap-on 1/2-inch breaker bar, and it says Snap-on #1 Milwaukee, USA. And so I just happened to look this up on eBay, and it was $100. So you know, guys, there's deals to be had out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money on Snap-on stuff. You know, that's, like I said, I use mostly Craftsman, but you know, if I find Snap-on that's a good deal, then I buy it. Now, also, I found this at a flea market. Somebody had this sitting out on the table, and it was a Snap-on extension. It's about a 15-inch extension. Paid $1.50 for it. So I looked it up, and these things are like $50 or somewhere in there, 35, 40, $50, somewhere in there. You know, you can have the same thing. This is just not for all the rich boys to have the nice tool. You know, if you know what you're looking for, you can have nice tools as well, and you can clean them up and make them into something that looks just as nice as some of these Craftsman sockets that I've cleaned up and polished. Anyway, now as far as these Capri sockets, I guess Westling and Capri have teamed up, and I had Capri Tools send me these out, and I just wanted to show them, you know, on this tray. And you can see that they start right there at 5/16 and go all the way down to a 1 inch. And this is on the standard set. And you can see that it comes with a WESTLING red socket tray. And then I have the other 3/8 in the metric over there, and it comes with the blue socket tray. So if you're a fan of Capri tools, then you can get one with the socket tray. Now, one thing I do want to make mention is if you get it with the Capri set, you're going to have some blank spots here on the end, and so you could always take and put an extension or an adapter on here to hide the little peg sticking up so you don't see it, because you know they don't make anything smaller to fit these pegs. So also I wanted to go ahead and show you the metric Capri tool set that I got. If you're interested in this, it goes from an 8mm all the way to a 22, and there's no skips in the set, unlike some of the other sets that you might find. And you know, this particular set that I got, it comes with the WESTLING tray. Now, whenever they sent me these, I guess they only had 2 colors on the Capri website. They had the blue and then they had the purple. So, you know, I told them just go ahead and send the blue one to me. But, you know, I figured, you know, if I wanted to switch this out for the black or the red to match what I have, then I can always go on the WESTLING website and buy just a black tray to put these in. And then this other one that I got from Capri Tools is already got the red tray. So anyways, you know, I'll be honest with you, I've not got to use these Capri Tools sockets, but I gotta say they look really good, and you can see that they're engraved where you can read size on them really easy, and they look like they're of good quality. And you can usually tell they have a special coating on them where, you know, they're supposed to be better as far as for corrosion resistance, because a lot of these impact sockets rust. Everybody knows that the impact sockets rust pretty bad. And so these are supposed to be better resisting that rust, and then, you know, their lifetime warranty. So I figured if you guys are interested in these Capri sockets and the WESTLING tool trays, you can do it this way if you're a fan of the Capri tools. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, guys. I appreciate you sticking around and watching this video. I know it was kind of long, drawn out, but you know, I wanted to show you these organizers because it was something I just discovered over the last year or two. You know, I just remembered seeing these, and I thought, man, those would be really nice to have. And gotta say, guys, I'm very pleased with these. These are definitely a premium product if you're looking to organize your tools. WESTLING is really high quality. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up, guys. Until next time, please like and subscribe to the channel. And, you know, if I can get you a link or something to the WESTLING website, I'll put it down below. If I've got a promo code, I'll put it in there. If I don't, then I won't. You know, I'll try to put any kind of links that I can find to where they sell these at a good price, and, you know, just share them with you down below. So anyways, until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and just remember, I've got a bunch more videos coming out with tool organization and things like that if this is your cup of tea. And until next time, see ya.